Greetings. I am Reverend Janet Tucker, bringing you greetings from Riverside, California. I am from Unity Fellowship Church of Columbia, and we are bringing you live service right here from our Convocation 2025. Today, for our announcements, we have our Meditation Monday, which is a 30-minute guided meditation, and it starts at 6:30 p.m. each and every Monday. You can join us via iZoom. Also on Tuesday, we will have Bible study at 7:30 p.m. And our Bible study this week will be on Luke 17, verses 11 to 19. Anytime you need prayer, something to lift you up, join us on Thursday mornings at 6 a.m. via Zoom, where someone could be there and stand in the gap for you during our intercessory prayer time. Fundraising, we have our flipgive.com. You can join our team at flipgive.com and choose UFC Columbia. And as always, call, text, and pray for your cohorts, because you never know when that love may be needed. On October 21st, you can join our UFCM Trans-Sibling Support Group, and they meet online via Zoom. For information regarding this, please contact Minister Zarian Wooden at zari.ufcmadvboard@gmail.com, because someone is always there for you. And that concludes our announcements. One other important announcement I have for you today is that our ordination service will be live today at 4 p.m. And you can find that on Facebook at UFCM Convocation Information Hub. And service will start there live stream, so that everyone across the world will have access to our ordination. Here at UFC Columbia, we will be celebrating our very own candidates. We have DC Sharon Harris, who will be moving to become a deacon, and we have our Deacon Lynn Edwards Tucker, who will be moving to become minister. So please plan to join us on Facebook Live as our members go to the next level in ministry. Thank you. Now it's offering time. For our offering here at UFCM Columbia, you can give 3 ways. One of those ways is through PayPal. Go to paypal.me/UFC Columbia, or you can go to our Zelle. Zelle is using our email, and that's thecolumbiaproject09@gmail.com. And the third and final way to give is through Zephy. Zephy.com UFC Columbia. On Zephy, you can always give, and when it asks for other donation, go all the way down to the bottom, choose 0, and you're able to give exactly what you give, and that way it comes directly to UFC Columbia. And thank you for our giving. And remember, as our giving affirmation says, this is my church and my contribution. No matter how small, it is very important in keeping this church that I love up and running. And it's only through your contributions that we're able to continue to help those out in the world who just need a little bit more assistance. And so we thank you for your constant and continuous giving, because it helps us to help somebody else. And now I have a word for you today. Today we will be coming from Luke 17, verse 11 to 19. And it starts like this. As Jesus continued toward Jerusalem. Now, Jesus is walking to Jerusalem now. As Jesus continued to walk towards Jerusalem. And that's a nice place to be, walking, because walking takes us to a place where we're able to see things along the way. We're able to move in ways that we may not have been able to move before, but it allows us to go that route. And so we'll be doing Luke 17, 11 to 19. I'll be reading for you the inclusive version. On the journey to Jerusalem, Jesus passed along the borders of Samaria and Galilee. As Jesus was entering a village, 10 people with leprosy met him. Keeping their distance, they raised their voices and said, "Jesus, Rabbi, have pity on us." When Jesus saw them, he responded, "Go and show yourselves to the priests." As they were going, they were healed. One of them, realizing what had happened, came back praising God in a loud voice, then fell down at the feet of Jesus and spoke his praises. The individual was a Samaritan. Jesus replied, "Weren't all 10 made whole? Where are the other 9? Was there no one to return and give thanks except this foreigner?" Then Jesus said to the Samaritan, "Stand up and go your way. Your faith has saved you." My title for today is Compassion That Heals and Transforms. Leprosy in Jesus' day, it wasn't just a disease. It was a sentence of isolation. These 10 lepers were outcasts, forced to live away from their family and community. Yet, when Jesus passed by, he saw them. True compassion begins with seeing those society overlooks, those who stand at a distance. Jesus didn't turn away. Compassion notices the invisible, listens to the unheard, and reaches toward the unreachable. So my question for you today is, who in your community stands at a distance today? Those we cross the street to avoid, those who've been labeled, forgotten, or dismissed. Think about that for a moment. That's very important, because compassion, as I said before, it sees the unseen. I'll point to compassion acts in faith. Jesus didn't heal them instantly. No. He said, "Go show yourselves to the priest." That command required faith before the healing. They had to start walking, still unclean now, trusting that obedience and faith would meet the miracle. Compassion calls us not just to feel, but to move. Faith-filled compassion steps out even when the results aren't visible yet. Serving, giving, forgiving before it's safe or convenient. Now, how many of us will go out? You haven't seen anything happen yet, but have that faith, compassion that acts as faith, to know that help is on the way. And so remember our second point, that compassion acts in faith. And point 3, compassion leads to gratitude and wholeness. All 10 were healed now, all 10, but only one returned, a Samaritan, to thank Jesus. And Jesus asked, "Were the not 10 clean? Where the 9? Where the other people?" Then he said, "Your faith has made you whole." The one that had the faith of being healed, of being away from leprosy, of being away from being isolated, that opportunity to get back out into society. And sometimes it's the things that we don't do that hold us up from our blessing, our healing. And so we have to remember that it's the gratitude that makes us whole. It's the compassion that comes from that gratitude, that showing that, I'm thankful for this. I am, I don't even know what to say, but I am thankful. And it's that brings about the healing, that brings about the wholeness. And so I remind you that, when healing can touch your body, but it's gratitude that transforms the heart. The Samaritans' gratitude completed what the onlys, others, they only began. They only began it. Compassion not only restores health, it restores relationship. Gratitude closes the circle of grace. Imagine that. And so today, I want you to remember that Jesus' compassion crossed barriers of race, religion, and disease. Jesus' love was not limited by status or stigma. And his compassion invites us to live the same way, to see, to act, and to give thanks. You've heard that throughout this week if you have been tuning in to our sessions on compassion. And so I am here today to culminate it, to say that compassion, it needs faith. Compassion needs you to be grateful, showing your thankfulness, your gratitude to make you whole. Healing can begin, but it's your acceptance that allows the healing to go full circle. And compassion, it sees the unseen. It sees those that no one else can see. And so I would like to thank you for joining us today. And we will be right back here next Sunday at 12:30. Thank you. And I am Reverend Janet Tucker signing off.